Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I'm your host, Clay Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It is Thursday night, September the 4th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Hope you guys are all doing well. So glad that you are here. I am glad that I am here as well. I had a good day. Actually, I had a bit of a crazy day, but I'll get to that in a second. And I won't take, actually, no one complained watching the replay, because maybe no one watched the replay. No one complained that it took me 20 minutes to get to Canucks Talk last night, but that was because I was coming off a week-long trip, or a week away, I should say. I wasn't a whole week in Vegas, and I wanted to share with you some of the stories. But tonight, no longer than 5 or 7 minutes before I get into Canucks Talk, I promise. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legends, Hall of Fame franchise members, thank you for your support. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, with my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you're here with me, know how much I always appreciate you and how much I never, ever take you for granted. So this is how you can get involved tonight. You can subscribe to the channel, like what I did there. You can subscribe to the channel, get active in the chat section, get notified of my videos. You can like the video. Swervin Irvin, I will get to that. You can like the video. You can like the fact that we're together, like the fact that we're talking about Marcus Pettersson, like the fact that I'm not wearing contacts. I mean, I'm wearing contacts. I'm not wearing glasses. It's because I had to record a different video. I'll talk about that in a second. And like the fact that we continue to build an awesome community here on YouTube. You can leave a donation, get the donation train out of the station. You guys were so generous last night, and I was so grateful. Let's see if we can continue that today. You can gift a membership. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your membership. You can use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. I'm just pressing these random buttons here. It's pretty funny, actually. Okay, enough. I'm just looking at the leaderboard right now. No donations yet, so it's all being legit. And it's Swervin Irvin with 675 points. Not that it's not legit. Fangirl with 600 and Simon with 275. Those were the three people that were actually in the chat prior to the stream. Interesting comment here. Swervin Irvin says, with your glasses off, you mean with me not wearing glasses, you can really see where Kayla gets her eyes. That's interesting. And I would actually agree with that, because I've said this before. We think Kayla looks like a Jung, so my mom's side, and they say I look like my mom. They say Jacob looks like an emo, my dad's side. And although I don't look like my dad, people say that Jacob looks like me, and he hates that. And then they say that Sean looks like Huang, which is Gail's mom's side, and that makes sense. So interesting. Thank you, Irvin, for that. And yes, I will tell you about the sleeping arrangements in a second. Actually, I'll do that first. No, let's go in order, because you guys care about me so much. The car alarm didn't go off overnight, but it went off another 2 times this morning. So that leads to the story of my day. I actually had to take the car in to get it checked out because the car alarm went off 4 times in 12 hours, unprovoked by me. So they still have the car because it's new. It's only 2 months old, and obviously I won't have to pay for anything. I better not. And they're checking out some of the connections, the wiring, the computer chip, all those things, all the fancy things that new cars have. So I will drive Gail's van tomorrow. Gail will drive Kayla's car to school because Gail will drive Kayla's car to Gail's school because Kayla doesn't have her own school tomorrow. So we are making it work. Thank you for asking, Fangirl. So work the morning at home, ran into the office to take care of a couple things. I was in my shirt and shorts. Thank God the bishop didn't see me. Dropped the car off at Richmond Honda. Jake picked me up, came home and worked the afternoon. Then had a meeting for parents from my church. We had a meeting here for something we're doing for our church. And then I recorded a video for a classmate of mine who's writing a book. And she had 21 questions about purpose in life and inspiration and sorrow, really deep questions. And for me, because of my social media presence or fake presence, she wanted me to do my answers by video. So on one hand, it went faster than me typing everything out. On the other hand, it did mean a bit of setup. That's why I'm not wearing my glasses. I've given you my theory about I look more confident. I feel more confident. Sorry, I feel more confident. I think I look better when I'm not wearing my glasses. I'm not asking for your hot take or if you agree or disagree. That's how I feel. And that's why I'm still wearing my contacts right now. Okay, last thing I'll talk about, and then we'll get into tonight's topic. You guys might remember before I left on Thursday's stream, before I left for Vegas, we were joking how we had 2 rooms and each room had 2 queen beds and there were 7 of us. And it was me, Gil, Sean's fiance, Francesca, Jacob's girlfriend, Michelle, and Kayla. So only Kayla's boyfriend didn't come of the significance. So 7 of us, me, Gil, Sean, Cheska, Jacob, Michelle, Kayla. We were joking about what was the best way to room. How were we going to room in Vegas? And, we had many combinations. We had the boys in one room, the girls, including Gail, in the other room. We had another combination of Jacob and Sean with me and Gail, and then Kayla with the 2 significants in the other room. We said the most awkward one would be me, Cheska, and Michelle in one room, and then Kayla, Gail, Jacob, and Sean in the other room. It would just be awkward on many levels. Although I was joking around, it would be like the test. I would be testing the 2 girls, and they'd be testing me. And then any other combination, permutation. But what it came down to were Sean and Jake willing to share a bed, because Sean's a pretty big boy, and Jacob, they're both grown men, and would they be comfortable with that? Blah blah blah. So we actually settled. It was going to be me, Gail, Sean, and Jacob. And then Kayla with Cheska and Michelle. But then Kayla, she was very sweet. She said, well, I don't know if I should get my own bed and then make Cheska and Michelle share. I don't know if I should share with one of them, blah, blah, blah. So I said, why don't you just stay with us? So Kayla stayed with me and Gil, and then Sean, Jacob stayed in one bed, and then Cheska and Michelle stayed in another bed. I had no problem trusting the 2 boys, trusting Cheska and Michelle. They're all mature adults. They were wasn't worried about them sneaking around to have alone time. Whatever. They're adults. I trust them, and it turned out absolutely fine. So thank you. I should have asked Irvin what his prediction was going to be. So did anyone, not that you care, but for those of you that do care and do remember this conversation that I had on Thursday night about rooming arrangements, are you surprised that that's the way it ended up? Me, Gail, Kayla, and then the 2 couples, or you can think of it as the brothers and the significance. Surprise to you, or is that the way that you thought it was going to lean? Irvin says, I just have to say to anyone that complains there isn't enough Canucks talk, come on, Vancouver's wall-to-wall hockey talk. Yes, and it's only September the 4th. We have a lot of time. We're here for the community and the hockey talk. Love it, love it, love it. I would put Cheska in a room and everyone else in the other. I don't even know why I find that so funny. And Sarah says, nope, that sounds about right. And Ian says that breakdown makes sense. Well, thank you. I truly think a bit surprised. Interesting, but it was a good call. It made sense. And all 7 of us were almost together the whole time. Or it was once in a while it was Gail and me, and then the 5 kids together, which was absolutely fine. Carol, don't worry. Don't apologize for being late. Jason Lim, primary sponsor, Jason Lim, Advanced Seat Experts, Sean, Jacob, and Clay, and then Royal Rumble. I don't even know what that means. Like, are we doing a Royal Rumble between me, Sean, and Jake to see who gets the bed to themselves? I think Sean would win that. He's a little bit bigger than me and him. I used to have me and Jacob. I used to have dad strength, but no, Sean would Jacob would probably overpower me as well. Yes, Irvin, great observation. Jason always here to incite violence. Jason, I've already been talking about what hour he's going to show up on the 24-hour live stream and what potential damage could he do to not only my room, but my reputation. Sean, are you going to be on the 24-hour live stream with Jason?
Sorry?
You going to be on the 24-hour live stream with Jason Lim? Oh, so Sean just said if we raise a certain amount of money, he will appear with Jason. Always a capitalist, that's Sean. Always a capitalist. No problem, Gerald. Drive safely. See, I love how self-aware Tyler is. I think we've given him enough grief over the past few months about coming late. People can join whenever they want. That's why there's such thing as replay. Remember, if you're watching the replay, hype the replay. I still don't know what that means. They know your weak spot, your Achilles. I actually have a lot of weak spots, but the Achilles would be the worst. Training camp starts on September 18th, if I'm not mistaken. There we go, 18th to 21. All right, let's get into the topic du jour. And the topic du jour is Marcus Pettersson. We're going to have a lot of time to talk about line combinations, blue line pairings, goaltending splits, special teams, coaching, strategies, systems. We have so much time to talk about that throughout September. Even remember, the season didn't even start until the second week of October. So we got a lot of time. But I do get inspired often by other podcasts I listen to, other shows I watch, or other articles I read. Bring the views of the replay up. All good. Jason says, ask Sean how much money last interruption. Sean, Jason wants to know how much money you're raising before you two appear. Sorry? Jason asked in the chat, ask Sean how much money we need to raise. And do you not want a tortilla slap? He said. Jason is very violent. All he does is talk about slapping people in here. What do you think? Well, we'll talk about it. Jason, Sean said, give him a pair of Encore tickets and you can appear with them. Is Jason Lim asking for a tortilla slip competition? I don't know. Half the time I don't know what Jason's asking for. And as Irvin said, tortilla slap is so 2024. We need some new food. Sean and Cheska actually just arrived home. They went grocery shopping, did Costco and a couple other things. They're having an engagement party on Saturday night for their friends. We had one for our family already. The weekend they got back from Whistler, and Saturday night it's friends. So we've done the family. It's friends now on Saturday. This energy drink, I'm having slaps. All right, bacon slap. Did you say topic du jour? Do you speak French a little bit? No, I don't speak French at all. Cheese slap, asparagus slap. What's wrong with you guys? No, I did my requisite French 12, and I'm not very good at. I barely can speak English, so French, Chinese, Japanese, Tagalog, none of those. Richmond Costco is wild. I think that's where they should do. They should actually make you earn a driver's license just to navigate those carts. Sushi slap, I like it. Fruit by the foot whipping. Okay, now we're getting into some weird stuff here. Bachelor and bachelorette parties. Unagi slap. Your sponsor must be violent. The violence of Mr. Jason. Okay, let's get to talk. Marcus Pettersson. We know that he came over in the trade on February 1st with Drew O'Connor. So do you remember how this happened? We actually traded for JT Miller first, and we got Victor Mancini, and we got a conditional first-round draft pick in that trade that sent Miller and a couple other pieces to Pittsburgh. Sorry, to the Rangers. So Miller to the Rangers, Mancini, and 13th, not overall, conditional first. I don't know why I kept saying 13. Oh, it was top 13 protected. That's why. So JT Miller went to the Rangers, and we got back Victor Mancini and this conditional first-round draft pick. Actually, for the sake of completion, you might remember this. It was JT Miller for Hedel, Mancini, and a first-round draft pick. Actually, technically, it was Miller, Eric Brandstrom, and Jackson Dorrington. I forgot about him for Hedel, Mancini, and a first-rounder. So it was a 3-for-3. Then we took that draft pick and we sent it to Pittsburgh with Danton Heinen, with Vincent Desharnais for Marcus Pettersson and Drew O'Connor. Because I think you'd agree, Pettersson and O'Connor for Desharnais and Heinen wouldn't have been fair. So we had to throw in that draft pick as well. So that's how Marcus Pettersson got to us on February the 1st of this year. Then, as I asked in the poll question, I asked you what you thought of his season or his half season, only 3 months. I thought he played really well for the Canucks. He had 31 games, 1 goal, 10 assists, 11 points. 20 penalty minutes, and he was a +8 in those 31 games. And he was anchored on a middle pair, second pair with Tyler Myers, because when he was healthy, you had Hughes, Hronek, then you had Pettersson with Myers, and then you had DPD with Derek Forbert. Then when Hughes had to miss some games, they shuffled everything around, and then Marcus Pettersson was often playing on the top pairing with Hronek, and then everyone kind of moved up. Then you had DPD playing with Myers, or Forbert playing with Myers, and DPD with Mancini. Or they're often doing some shifting around to make up for Hughes' absence. I think Myers got injured too near the end of the season, but I do know Hughes missed some games. So we saw Marcus Pettersson mostly as a second pairing D, and he's paid like a second pairing D, and he plays like a second pairing D. However, Thomas Drance today, he's been doing a series on The Athletic, and yesterday he talked about questions about the forward group, starting with Elias Pettersson, then Philip Hedl, then Jonathan Lekkerimäki, and da-da-da. So yesterday was 5 questions or 5 storylines about the forwards. Today, it was 5 summer thoughts on defenders and goalies. So the first point was on Thatcher Demko, but this one I want to talk about is Marcus Pettersson. So let's read this really quickly. This is from Thomas Drance at The Athletic. We've never seen what Marcus Pettersson's true impact could be on this team. It's no secret what Vancouver's biggest issue has been over the past handful of years. When Hughes is on the ice, the Canucks have typically throttled their opponents in 5-on-5 since the 2022-2023 campaign. For example, Vancouver's outscored opponents by 65 goals in Hughes 5-on-5 minutes. Wow, plus 65! 5-on-5 with Hughes. No team in the sport has managed to outscore their opponents by a greater ratio 5-on-5 than the Canucks have over the past 3 years with Hughes logging shifts. The non-Hughes minutes, however, have been very different. In that span, they've been outscored by 48. So at least they're plus 17. So plus 65, 5-on-5 with Hughes on the ice, minus 48 without Hughes on the ice. That's only better than Chicago, San Jose, and Anaheim. This is the eternal puzzle that Canucks management has yet to solve consistently. How do the Canucks upgrade their lineup to the point where they don't perform on the scoreboard like one of the NHL's doormats whenever Hughes takes a minute to catch his breath? Enter Marcus Pettersson. It goes without saying that Pettersson isn't a flashy player. He's as tough as nails defensive defender, but he isn't often seen doling out big Tyler Myers style hits. He's an exceptional skater, but rarely carries the puck through the neutral zone. He's an excellent passer in the offensive zone, but doesn't generate points in bunches or play on the power play or score from the point in a manner that fans and infrequent observers find memorable. Pettersson, so you're saying, well, what does he do? Pettersson, however, is a rock-steady two-way defender. He gets play moving in the right direction and consistently and subtly helps create an environment where his team is more likely to score the next goal than its opponents are, even when he's matched up against top competition. He is genuinely a top pair caliber blue liner. When Pettersson arrived in Vancouver last season, the Canucks were in turmoil. Not only had the club subtracted his top forward from the lineup via trade, Miller, but Hughes sustained an oblique injury the night that Vancouver acquired him from the Penguins. Pettersson didn't even get to play a single game with the dominant version of Hughes that we saw through the first 50 games of the season. Even as injuries mounted to Philip Hedl and Elias Pettersson, the forward down the stretch, however, Pettersson unremarkably went about helping the Canucks win his minutes. In just over 555 minutes, over 31 games, Vancouver was plus 6, 28-22. So lastly, now it can be noted that the gaudy goal differential was inflated by some good shooting fortune in the offensive zone end of the rink. The Canucks scored in over 12% of the shots with Pettersson on the ice, which we shouldn't assume will stick. Nonetheless, Pettersson is the sort of stabilizing force that Vancouver hasn't had on their second pair since Ham Hughes was still in their prime. That was for you, fangirl, Dan Ham Hughes reference. If Pettersson can legitimately help Vancouver stem the bleeding in the non-Hughes minutes at 5-on-5, then that'll make the edge that Hughes generates stand up in a way that it too often hasn't during Hughes' Canucks career to this point. And finally, I just want to show you Marcus Pettersson's pedigree so far. He was drafted second round, 38th overall by Anaheim in 2014. Played in Sweden, then played 2 seasons with Anaheim, and then was traded to Pittsburgh, and then played. He doesn't play full seasons, but most to it, close to 57, 69. That was the lockout season. No, sorry, this was the COVID season. No, this was COVID season. So he played every game that season. 47, 72, 68, 82, and then 78 last year between the two clubs. So he's not bad. You know, that's about second pairing numbers, 19 points, 22 points, 24 points, 30 points, 29 points last season. Not afraid to mix it up, get some penalty minutes, and generally a plus player. In fact, he's always been a plus player. Last year you netted out, he was a plus 6. So there's a lot to like about Marcus Pettersson. I remember when we got him, Jay Fresh digital player cards, and he said that the one thing he said, along with his good skating, good hockey IQ, was that he gets hit a lot. And at first I thought it was a negative, saying that he puts himself in bad positions. And I've come to realize he is willing to take a hit to make a play. He's willing to take a hit to make a play. And basically Thomas Drance's whole premise was that if Hughes is healthy, Pettersson can almost play to the level of a top pairing defender. So we have an awesome 1-2 punch on the left side, an awesome 1-2 punch of Hughes and then Marcus Pettersson. DPD surprised some people. So we have a great 1-2-3 punch of Hughes and the two Petterssons on the left. Or you could put Pettersson on the right, and then that's Elias Pettersson. You can go Hughes, Marcus Pettersson, Derek Forbort on the left, and then Hronek, Myers, Forbort on the right. Sorry, DPD on the right. And then it's P.O. Joseph, Mancini, and Verlander battling for 7, 8, and 9. I remember when I first, there was reports that the Canucks were trying to get Marcus Pettersson back in 2023 when Rutherford was trying to trade JT Miller to the Penguins. So we know that Rutherford has always liked Marcus Pettersson, the player, and that would make sense that they tried to trade for him 2 years ago. Then I didn't really know much about him, to be honest with you. So I remember myself saying on a couple shows, I'm fine if we don't get him. I didn't call him overrated. I just didn't know enough about him. I knew he was 6'5", but skinny as heck. 175 pounds. So how can he be 6'5", 11 inches taller than I am, yet I weigh 5 more pounds than him? Yes, I weigh 180. There's a secret for you. So how is he a foot taller than me, yet I'm 5 pounds heavier than him? Well, that just tells me he's very skinny, but he's not afraid to absorb hits, like I said, to make a play. Good skater. That's what I noticed. And the one thing I noticed is his one-on-one battles were generally really good last year. Good gap control. And he did make a good first pass. He didn't really skate the puck out a lot because Myers usually did that. Marcus Pettersson was more like the stay-at-home guy in their pairing, but he certainly had a really good pass out of his zone. And I love that. He's built like Slender Man. Exactly. I sure hope the Canucks can win with better defense. I've been saying that all offseason, Adam, that they've swapped it. They're strong now from the goaltender out. Goaltender and D. All right, let's end this poll question. And then I will get to some of your comments. So I said, what did you think of Pettersson's 3 months with the Canucks since he came over? 58% of you said very good. 30% said decent. 10% said outstanding. And no one said underwhelming. So that was good to hear. All right, Canucks fans, would love to hear your thoughts. Let's go 5 to 10 minutes on just Marcus Pettersson stuff. And then we can talk about the Canucks overall and other things on the other side of the break. But let's talk about Marcus Pettersson and the impact that he can have on our defense. Hopefully he can be the Timu Zdeno Chara. I thought you were going to like Timu as in Timu Solani. No, you're saying like the cheaper version of Zdeno Chara. I will take it. Biggest plus is that he helped the penalty kill. Thank you, Viper. I should have mentioned that. That was a huge part of his game. Is he played a lot of penalty kill minutes. Actually, DPD got some time on the penalty kill. Derek Forbort's a good penalty killer. So yes, we did lose P.S. Suter. Yes, we did lose Dakota Joshua, 2 guys that were used on the penalty kill. But we're going to have full seasons now of the 2 Petterssons on defense. Hello, Helen. Nice to see you. Adam, I am ready as well. And I'm ready to get the first donation of the night. It comes from Dave Everett. He gifts a CCC membership. So let's give some love to Dave in the chat.
And he got it! Who do you think you are? I am!
Was that choppy? I gotta play that one more time because it seemed a little choppy to me. I think I got too much going on this computer.
And he got it!
Who do you think you are? I am. So thank you to Dave for gifting the membership. Let's give Dave some love in the chat. And look at that. It goes to my YouTube consultant, James Tao, all the way over in China. James frequents Vancouver, and I call him my YouTube consultant because he works for YouTube. And I often ask him for advice on certain things. So welcome back to Franchise Membership, James. And thank you, Dave, for the generous donation. And we got more friends of the show, not only donating, but joining the community. So Adam Lee jumps in with his own $5 donation. That slaps.
Hard.
Thank you, Adam, for the generous donation. And that one goes to Patricia Macapagal. I love saying that last name. I love seeing her in there. Patricia, welcome to Franchise Membership. That is awesome. Let's give Adam some love in the chat as well. Yes, usually this computer doesn't lag, but I've been giving it a workout today, including recording some stuff. So I may have to make sure that it's empty some space or do something. But regardless, it's not as bad as it used to be. I'm looking forward to seeing a full season of Marcus. Honestly, wait, you are honestly looking forward to it, or you want Marcus to play honestly? Regardless, I love your use of the word honestly. Not that I expect you to be lying to us, fangirl, but yes, with a healthy roster would be awesome. Hockey going to be soon. I'm so stoked. Me too, Michael. Can't you tell I'm excited? I hope the prayer helps. I think you mean player helps Vancouver out, having a good season this year. Yeah, that's the whole point, Simon, of my video. That was the whole point in the last 10 minutes is I think Marcus Pettersson can help us out, and we need him to be an X factor. Yes, we need our big three to be our big three of Demko, Pettersson, and Hughes. And you could argue that, right below them are Besser, Hedl, Besser and Hronik, maybe, and Kane as keys to the team. And then I'd say Marcus Pettersson, probably not going to get a lot of hype or fanfare, but he is just as important as well. I was skeptical about Marcus Pettersson being an acquisition that would matter, but I don't think we can be quick to forget how big an improvement he was over Susie. Great point. He was basically the Susie replacement. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, the intro had an echo because I always listen to 1 or 2 seconds on my laptop to make sure that it is working. Of the three Petterssons, which one's full potential is most critical to the team's success? Full potential, I think you know the answer. It's probably the forward. And for team success, I think then second it would be Marcus and third would be DPD, but all important. And I think you knew the answer. That's why you put the winky face after it. Give the PC a slap to get it behaving. Next week's rookie camp. That is correct. EP40, Coach Foot is counting on him to be a leader. Hey, Clay, how was your golf trip? Ricky's so funny, man. I love you guys, but that was pretty funny. I think, didn't I spend like the whole first half of my show talking about the golf trip, and then not one, but like 2 or 3 people. I think Harry, I love him. Harry was one of them. I think a couple others then came in and asked me how was golf. Yeah, Helen, actually, I spent my whole stream yesterday. I know you couldn't be here yesterday. Helen, yesterday's stream was dedicated towards to the iMac article. So I reacted to that yesterday. Thank you. Not sure if Hughes in Vancouver yet. I don't think he was on the ice today. EP40 needs to be to Hughes what Draisaitl is to McDavid. Yeah, different positions, but I hear what you're saying. 5 years ago today, we got eliminated by Vegas. That was a good run. Smokey today. Oh, crazy. All right, 11:30. Perfect time to do my Mitchell sponsor read. And I start off by thanking my primary sponsor. Not sure if he's still here. Jason Lim of Van City Experts. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Thank you to my secondary sponsor, Coach Patrick Lou, Weight Loss Coach. You can check him out at coachpatricklou.com/clay and receive a free 5-day workout when you do so. Thanks to Gassy Jack Art, creator of this wonderful artwork that you see behind me. Check him out at gassyjackart.com. Thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay. Receive a free pair of socks on your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Thanks to everyone who's purchased Canuck Clay merch. You can do so at canuckclay.threadless.com. My next show, just so you guys know, will be on Sunday, because I don't stream on Friday and Saturday. And I'm excited to announce that on Sunday, I'll be announcing a brand new channel sponsor. So, and I might do a little bit of an unboxing to go with it. So make sure you join me on Sunday night. I'm really looking forward to making that announcement. A couple of other things. Don't forget, there's the ways that you get involved. Subscribe, like the video, leave a donation, gift a membership, like a couple of you've done. Buy your own membership, upgrade your membership, use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. We had a couple of new ones come in, but right now, the new leaderboards are Swerve and Earn at 675, Fangirl at 600. Line Change has shot up to 300 because it was donation. Simon 275 and Carol, because of her donation, up to 275. So speaking of which, let's get to those donations right now. We start off with the Line Change. Wonderful. Thank you, Tyler. Let's give Tyler the goalie save. Thank you, Tyler, the creator, for a wonderful $7 donation, the legendary Line Change. Let's give legendary Line Change Tyler, the creator. I have all these names for him. Let's give him some much-deserved love in the chat. And speaking of legends, legendary Carol Bovelander.
3, 2, 1.
Say, hey, Clay, here's $5 for Pepsi for your slushy machine. I hope the Canucks do really well this year. I really want to see a lot of offense. Me too. So thank you, Carol, for the $5 donation. Let's give legendary Carol Bovelander some love in the chat as well. Let's keep going with your questions and comments. It doesn't have to be Marcus Pettersson related now. Doesn't management know one of the Petterssons because we wanted to get them for a long time? I think that's a good move from our management. Yes, they love anyone named Pettersson. In fact, if I was named Pettersson, they might hire me. Kane, 20, 30, 40 goals contract year. I'd be happy with 25, to be honest with you, Adam. If we can get 25, if we can get 30 from Besser, 30 from DeBrusk, 25 each from Kane and Garland, I'll take that. Then 30 for Petey. Anyone watch the Cena versus Paul fight? I saw some clips of Cena was so funny with the mic. Yeah, they and Logan Paul gave him some good respect afterwards. Ninja is the new channel sponsor. You'll have to see on Sunday, but probably not. Probably not. You want the Nudo video? Well, okay, that'll be the next one. I was going to ask you guys, which one is your favorite donation drop video? I love the Legends too. That slushy machine is iconic. Yes, I brought the slushy machine to the meetup. So if you did not go to the meetup, there's another reason why you should have been there, because we were making slushies all day. We need to be better in defense. We must keep the puck out of our net. It is key to win. Last season was rough. Yes, but I think we'll be a lot better. What is your faith level in our core players after missing playoffs for the last 6 seasons and Coach Foote having his golf meeting with them to start the summer? If we're talking about the core of Demko, PD, and Hughes, the reason why I've been always so optimistic about the Canucks is you need elite players at each position. We have the potential to be elite with those three: one goaltender, one forward, and one defenseman. I am confident. I'm confident in their leadership. I'm confident in their desire to have a good season, and I'm confident in that they feel like they got all the drama put behind them. I am missing hockey with you, Adam. So when you play the piano, what's your favorite song to play? And what is your specific song that you like? I like Bruce Hornsby in the Range. That's just the way it is. Dun, 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 dun. Tupac made a remix of it, but yes, that's the way it is my favorite song to play on the piano. We'll have a bounce back season. I like it. I'm fine with a September start if it means starting earlier, ending earlier. The 84 games also makes a perfectly symmetrical schedule, so I'm fine with all those things. No, I haven't lost. For me, I'm still intrigued. I know he had that little mini contract squabble about bonuses. No, I think he is the second most important prospect. Well, third. I think Coots, Lekkerimäki, and Verlander are the 3 most important prospects we have right now. No, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what he does. Saturday marks 5 years since the death of my grandma. Yeah, those anniversaries are always tough and important. No going home feature. You mean Canucks? I did watch some of the NFL opener. For those of you that watch NFL, I know Ricky, you're one of them, and others. It was interesting. So on one of my fantasy leagues, I was playing against a guy who had Jalen Hurts and pick whatever the receiver is for Dallas. I'll just pull it up here because it was kind of interesting. So my opponent had Hurts, Pickens, and then Smith for wide receiver for Philly on the bench. I had the Philly defense and Williams, the running back for Dallas, who had an amazing first half. He had 2 touchdowns, but then he slowed down, thank goodness. The Philly D only got me 3 points, and then Jalen Hurts had a really big start, but then he kind of cooled off a little bit. So it's crazy. I had the Philly defense, but then my opponent had Jalen Hurts. So I didn't want Hurts to go crazy, but I wanted Philly to win. So then my Philly defense could have some opportunities for turnovers and stuff. But then Dallas puts up 20 points in the first half. Their running back goes nuts, but I have him on the bench because I'm not going to play the Dallas running back against my Philly defense. All to say though, the first half looked like I was going to lose the whole league in one half, and then it kind of settled down. So I thought it was a good game. If everything goes right, what's the ceiling for this team? Second or third place finish. I still don't think if everything goes right that they win the division, but I'll take second or third for sure. 2 years out, do we have enough to show for the Horvat trade? Hronek as Quinn's partner, Ratu on the bubble, Zadorov as a rental. I think if Ratu turns out to be a serviceable NHL player, you can look at it roughly as Hronek and Ratu for Horvat. I'll take that. For sure. By the way, is my stream lagging a little bit today, or is the computer that I'm watching my stream on, is that the thing that's lagging? I'm just curious. Because I know since I've moved to streaming from my MacBook Air, the lagging has been a lot better. I got one of the Calder Cup Championship hats that were on the ice. Nice. Good for you, SGP. Good for you. Is $40 worth it to watch the blue versus white? I wouldn't. Go Seahawks and go Canucks. Blue Jays still doing well. Would you do a dare to trade for our live stream if we guess the record of the Canucks? What do you mean? If we guess, you mean if you got, Adrian, are you saying, would I do a dare if you guess the record correctly? Does that mean guess this season's record and then on my 24-hour live stream next season that I have to do like a consequence? Or are you saying let everyone, I don't know what you're saying, Adrian. Ask it again. Usually you're very, very coherent with your statement, so maybe I'm missing something. Will TSN be playing the Chiefs game tomorrow? I don't know. That's a good question. Streamed on YouTube, but YouTube has blocked Canada from the game. Oh, I don't know that. I don't know if Dallas are considered the Clowns. They used to be my favorite team. Was the Style Talkit was asking the team to play heavy board battles last year just too taxing? I don't know if it's too taxing or maybe they didn't have the right personnel, Irvin. Great point. Oh, 2 games in. Well, there's only like 6 combinations, right? 1-0. Sorry, 2 games in. 2-0. 0-2. 1-0-1. Let's see. That's it, right? No. Oh, and then the different combinations, permutations with over. But I guess on the records, you can either be 2-0. You can be 0-1-1. You can be 0-2. You can be 1-1, or you can be 1-0-1. So I guess there are 5 combinations. This morning, Halford accidentally said Seattle Seahawks. What was your most? I've said a couple of stupid things, but the worst one, I wasn't even the MC for. So Gail's sister is Julianne. Gail's younger sister is Julianne. She married Patrick. So I wasn't the MC for the wedding reception, but I was the host for the mass at the church. And when I was welcoming everyone to their seats and talking about no cell phones and blah, 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 instead of saying welcome to the wedding mass of Julianne and Patrick, I actually said on the microphone in front of 200 people, welcome to the funeral mass of Julianne and Patrick. I was mortified. Then I was going to do a quick joke about how it basically is Pat's funeral, but I thought that would, I thought that would be not appropriate to say, but yes, that was my worst slip of the tongue for sure. Football pools, I don't think I'm going to do as well. I don't know as much about football than hockey. Jason Kelsey was at the Eagles game to watch his brother play, and Jason's wife won't wear anything but Eagle stuff. Oh, how do you know all this stuff, fangirl? And do I care? I care about you. I'm not sure if I care about that, though. Basically, the Cowboys go ghost when it matters most. 2 seed when they become the first 2 seed to lose to 7 seed. Gotcha. How about if we get the goal scorers correct by the time October 12th comes around? That's true. You don't think that staying up for 24 hours is daring enough? I forgot that one. 0, and 2, of course. So there are 6 combinations. 2 and 0. 1 and 1. 1, 0 and 1. 0, 1 and 1. 0, 0 and 2. No, I messed it up. Start again. 2 and 0. That's the easy one. 1 and 1. 1, 0 and 1. 0, 1 and 1. 0 and 2. So are there 5? Someone help me. Is it 5 or 6? Oh no. Yikes. Hopefully we were like 2, 0 and 0. I hope so too. It was very bad. I once did a wedding where I said the groom's name, and instead of the bride's name, I said the groom's Pastor Dan. You can ask God for forgiveness for that one. Wow. That's massive. At least you didn't say the groom's ex's name. That would be worse. I think it flew over their head. They were so nervous. I honestly don't think they heard it. Everyone else heard it. Who will score the first goal of the regular season? Evander Kane. Isn't that the best story if Evander Kane scores the first goal of the season? We'll go 2-0-0, 1-0-1. Yeah, I'm not asking. That's fine. I'm not asking for your predictions. I'm asking for all the combinations. Let's try this one more time. May I need to write this out. 2-0-0. Yeah, it doesn't matter how it's marked. 1, 1-0. 1-0-1. 0, 1-1. 0-0-2. Yeah, it's only 5, right? Jason's wife mentioned during documentary following Jason that season the Kelsey Super Bowl happened. Gotcha. Sorry, I didn't read that very well. I did not read that very well at all. Yeah, there we go. 2-0-1. Yes, the 5. Very good. Thank you, Natty. What about PD scoring the first goal of the season? I love it. I would love it. But I was asked to choose one. PD would be my second choice. I think that would be an awesome story, but I think Kane would be funny. Not that it matters, but damn, does Kane look good in a Canucks uniform, even if just practice? Yeah, I like those kind of things too. Oh, fangirls, daring. She's going to the 3rd game of the season. She's going 1-1. That is very symmetrical for sure. I might not go the full hour tonight unless you guys keep asking me stuff or donating. I might wrap up in the next 5 or 10 minutes because I do have to edit that video that I recorded earlier. For tiebreaker purposes, there are more categories like overtime wins versus regular wins and head-to-head for the purposes of points she got. Of course. And we're only talking about two games, right? I hear you, Robbie. I hear you. Kane definitely looks happier in Vancouver than that's hard to say though. And admittedly, Tyler, he did a lot of good things for the community in Edmonton. Remember, all this off-ice transgressions and locker room issues, we didn't hear of any of those in Edmonton. It was more the other teams he was with, Winnipeg, Buffalo, and San Jose, but not Edmonton. Connor Garland will score the first goal. Yeah, well, we definitely can take predictions closer to the season for sure, but that is a good guess. Okay, last 3 minutes. Let's just have some fun with this. Let's go with, and I'll put some sound effects in here. My question to you for the last 5 minutes of the stream is, wrong answers only. Oh, no, it can be right answers. You could, maybe it's up to me to guess if you're being serious or not. Who do you think my new sponsor is going to be, or what type of product might it be? I'm not sure why I did any of those. Okay. Who or what do you think my new sponsor is going to be that I mentioned, that I announced on Sunday night? Edmonton is very closely knit together. He's a fantastic human being off the ice. Well, not all the time. The tough thing is that we're on the road in Edmonton the first Saturday of the season. We can beat Calgary at home, but the Oilers are going to be hard. Sure. And then we have St. Louis at home. So remember, my 24-hour live stream is the Sunday. So the day after that Edmonton game. And then I will be going to that St. Louis game on Thanksgiving Monday. So Sarah says it's the Ninja slushy machine. Fangirl says it's the Ninja as well. Something wrong with Irvin. He says the home pregnancy test. Yeah, that's right up my alley. Ridge wallets. I don't even know what that is. Vitamix. Pepsi. A bowling ball. Crown Royal partnering Rick Dollywall. I already mentioned this, Simon. I said Evander Kane is my prediction. We can beat the Oilers. Have faith. I agree. Evander looks happier because he's home. That's a throwback reference. Oh, I know. You've mentioned that before. What? But you didn't. Did you mention it in terms of a sponsor, or were we talking about something else, Irvin? Costco. That's a good one. Hey, the OG is here. Daniel Hammond, 20-monthly membership message. That is awesome. Which one I haven't done the window yet. My computer that is playing the animations is lag. Yeah, so yeah, I'm having lag today. I think I forgot to clear off the computer. But I also said I was going to give the noodle too. So thank you, Daniel, for using your monthly membership message. A member for 20 months. Can't wait for hockey to be back. I am with you. Fine, sir. Duff and Donuts, another guess. Slushy Machine. I think all three PDs will be X Factors. I'm with that. When is the 10-hour live stream? 10,000-hour live stream. Gerby, when you join me for 2,000 of those 10,000 hours. I was brainstorming CCC merch ideas. That makes perfect sense. That is funny. That is funny. Bubble tea, the place opposite Brian. That would be a good one. Sushi rolls. That would be an amazing sponsor, but I would eat all the product. Or I would demand free product for sure. Sponsor will be a new beverage that Clay will be forced to drink in every stream. It won't be cola or slushies. Now I'm a little scared. I will say that jokingly or not jokingly, none of you are close yet. New video drop or classic? I haven't seen that one before. Which one was that, Robbie? NHL shop? Pepsi, EA Sports, Barilla, pasta and pesto. What the heck is that? But thank you, Bern. Van Base, Tim Hortons, Nintendo, Jason Lim branded boxing gloves. Can you give us a hint? Golf. Okay. I will say that one of you got a little closer in the last little bit. One of you got a little bit closer, but I think I'm going to leave it right there. And I think that I might actually bring on the proprietor of my sponsor, like the actual owner of the company. I might actually have him on the stream with me on Sunday night. So I'll work on that. Vessi, says Edmund. Irvin thinks it is the Jason Lim branded, the Van City Experts branded boxing gloves. PBA, Lucky 9. It's a company. Food item. Wow. Some really good guesses. You guys will know in about 72 hours. So my friends, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for being here. I'll answer this. Have I heard of the new girls league in BC Alberta called the FSL? What's your opinion on girls hockey introducing hybrid hitting? I'd have to learn more about what hybrid hitting is, SGP, before I make a... I just can't picture hitting in women's hockey. That's not meant to sound whatever. I just can't picture it. Barilla is an Italian company that produces food. Okay, I like them already. Whose voice was that in the background? Was it my computer or was it a woman's voice? It was either Kayla or Cheska because they're working on stuff for the engagement party on Saturday. And yes, have a wonderful weekend, everyone, indeed. Yeah, I don't stream on Fridays and Saturdays. So the next time you'll see me will be Sunday night, and I'll be announcing my brand new sponsorship. And no, it's not hot dogs, Carol, but thank you. Moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Line Change, legendary Carol Bovelander, legendary Brian Belingi Choi, and legendary Andrew Chang. Thank you for your support, and thank you to Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, and subscribing. On the video, like the video. On the way out, like the video, subscribe, leave a late donation. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you hype the video. And shout out to anyone who actually went back and hyped any of my previous videos. Irvin, can you only hype live streams or can you hype any old video? Let me know. Thanks to my sponsors, The Violent, no, I shouldn't say that, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate, Coach Patrick Lou, Weight Loss Coach, and Gassy Jack Art. Thank you to everyone who went above and beyond today. And that was Dave, who gifted a membership. Adam gifted a membership. Line Change with a dono, Carol with a dono, and Daniel Hammond using his monthly membership message. Thank you to all of you for going above and beyond. Add it all up. Oh, any video or live stream you can hype. Thank you. Add it all up. And the winner tonight is a tie. It is Fangirl with 675, Swervin' Irvin with 675, Simon with 350, Line Change 325, and Carol 275. That is your top 5 for tonight. Thank you everyone for being here. I can't wait to talk to you on Sunday. In the meantime, I got a couple work events and Sean and Cheska's engagement party, and I'll fill you in on all of those on Sunday night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. You know, recently a cop pulled me over. I rode down the window and the cop said to me, "Papers." So I yelled, "Scissors," and I drove off. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.